Outlet pass for Rick Nash. Nash now tries to slip to the fence and walk in. Nice move. Another nice move. He scored. What a goal. It doesn't get any better than this.
As he plays to the point, instead, he works his way back free. Granlund fires, score!
Hello and welcome to the Puck Drops Here podcast. I'm your host, John Crawford, along with my brother, Howie.
Hi.
Here for episode number 4 of season 6. Howie, how you doing?
I'm moderately neato.
Moderately neato.
Yeah. Tired.
I've been dealing with some pinched nerve stuff in my neck.
Yeah, I've been there. I did that for what, like 3 months at one time.
So I'm on some muscle relaxers and some heavy duty Tylenol and like that blue gel stuff, you know. I don't know what it's called.
Is it like icy hot stuff?
Sort of like that. Smells like a locker room.
Does it do cold or hot?
Kind of both.
Okay. I can't do the heat.
It's sort of like cold and hot, but I have to put it right here because these muscles are here have just been really.
Yeah, that's how mine was. It shot down my arm.
Yeah.
It would kill me like through like my elbow area.
Elbow and forearm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's how mine was.
Feels like a toothache almost in your arm.
Yeah, mine was, well, yeah, because I don't remember, I think it's the 4th and 5th vertebrae, I think, in my neck.
Yeah.
But they got bone spurs.
Well, I got something going on. I suspect it was playing ball with Rogie.
Oh.
We play ball, and then he comes running. I lay down on my back, and I throw the ball, and he comes running at me full speed. And he puts the ball with his mouth on it into my hand, and I almost hold him up, 25 pounds, and just hold him up.
Oh, yeah, that could do it.
Yeah, and then jerk.
Mine was I just slept funny on it.
Yeah.
Mine went that way, but the worst part of it was that for those 3 months I had to deal with it. I had to sleep on my back, which I hate because I hate sleeping on my back.
Yeah. I can't even sleep on my back. I have to sleep kind of on my side back.
Oh no, yeah, no, I had to lay down flat.
And then I have to put a pillow under my arm, and keep it warm.
Okay. Yeah, because I could only, when I did sleep, it's like I'd sleep like in intervals of like 2 hours, and the pain would just wake me up.
Yeah, that's what's happening to me right now.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, fun stuff.
Yeah, so plan on at least 3 months.
Yeah, great. And I'm still waiting for my phone call. It is imminent. They told me it would be by the end of the week last week, but that was like 2 days when they told me that to the end of the week. So I'm figuring it'll be the beginning of this next week.
Oh, hopefully, yeah.
So, hockey news, Howie.
Nothing news-wise that I've seen. Really?
What are you talking about? There's news. 3 more days. The season starts in 3 days. That's the big news.
Oh, well, no, I'm talking about like trades and stuff like that.
Oh, nothing like that. Yeah, no. But in 3 days, hockey season begins. I'm so excited. I can't wait. There is some more news, but it is not hockey related. Actually, you broke the news to me yesterday that we now know what happened to Rick Marshall from Land of the Lost.
I was wondering if you saw that because I haven't heard that.
I have been. It has baffled me for years, and now we know.
I started laughing so hard when I saw that. I was in tears.
Oh, I was laughing so hard it hurt to laugh. I had to just put it down. I go, I can't even look at this. Why is he doing this to me today?
Yeah. Rick Marshall from Land of the Lost, the original.
Yeah.
There was a thing on YouTube with whatever happened to Rick Marshall in the end of the show. He ended up on Alice.
Another great show. Oh my goodness.
Changed his name to Dave.
Yeah. Well, today, Howie, we are going to finish up our regular season predictions with the Pacific Division, which was another very hard division to do.
Yeah, because I just made last minute changes.
Yeah,
right before we came.
Making last minute changes, and we'll see how we do comparatively.
I think for this division, I think it's going to be at least for me, the teams I have in the top 3 could be anywhere between 1, 2, and 3. I think they're all even. 4, 5, and 6, I think they're all even. They could end up anywhere between those 4, 5, and 6s.
Yep.
And 7 and 8, they could flip flop possibly.
Yep. I have the same scenario going on. And since you went first last week, I will go first this week. And my number 8 team, which could also be my number 7, and I know you know both of those teams. So I'm sure we picked both the same ones. But I put my number 8 as Vancouver.
And I have to agree. My number 8 is also Vancouver.
Okay. Sorry about this.
I just don't think they really did anything during the off season to really do anything.
Right.
It's that rebuilding stage.
Well, it feels like they've been rebuilding for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. And same with my number 7 team. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything more about them moving or shutting operations down.
Yeah.
But and they just may be here to stay. Is the Arizona Coyotes?
My number 7's slightly different.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Huh?
But I agree they haven't really done anything. But my number 7, I have Seattle.
Oh. Okay, we'll put Seattle here.
Well, actually, I don't know, because Seattle, I think, is going to end up getting an expansion team. So Arizona, it could be actually Houston.
Houston?
Yes.
I would rather that be Hartford.
I would too, but I think if anything, I think that's where they'll end up if they move, is right. Houston.
Oh, and speaking of Hartford, did you hear what the Canes, did you see what they were doing?
No.
Their third jersey this year is the Hartford Whalers jersey.
No.
Yeah.
I thought they were going with the black with the little storm thingamajig flags on.
No, did you see it? Did you see it? They were going to use it.
But no, I think now Houston's on the clock here with possibly getting a team.
Houston.
Houston.
All right, my number 6 team, Howie, which can be a 4, 5, or 6. Okay, depending on how well they do.
Yeah.
And if this team can, they've kind of been, they've have a lot of talent and they've been struggling, trying to mesh. And if they get it together, they can possibly make themselves a wild card team. Very possible. Is the Edmonton Oilers. So I have Edmonton as my number 6.
My number 6 is a team where I think they're good, and my number 6 would actually be the same as you, 4, 5, or 6. And I don't know about them being a wild card, even if they were to finish at 4. I don't know if that's there, but I have Edmonton at number 6.
All right. And that wild card, if they make 4, it's going to be hard to beat those teams up in the Central because they're so good.
Yeah. They're just doing throwbacks, not necessarily third jersey.
Throwbacks. I'm sorry, throwbacks.
Yeah. No, I like that though.
Yeah, me too. All right, my number 5 team. It seems like they're always making changes, and they have made some more changes this year, and could possibly be 4. I don't see them being lower than 5. Will be Anaheim for me.
I'll just go straight across the board because that's who I got.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're good, but I don't know. There's I think now everyone is too even mashed, and I think they'll end up falling in that 5th spot.
Yeah, I agree. I got a pain. Just do something. Okay. My number 4 could be a possible wild card team. They could end up at 5 depending on what Anaheim and Edmonton do. They were kind of the Cinderella story last year. I have Vegas as my number 4.
Oh, okay.
All right.
My number 4, they possibly could end up being a wild card, but I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I mean, they're hard to really pinpoint as far as where they're good, where their weaknesses are. But I mean, they're good, but there's just I don't know. They're just kind of there.
Okay.
But I think they'll end up in 4th, but they could be a 5 or 6. But I think Calgary.
Wow, Calgary. Okay. Sorry about my writing. It is terrible right now. Wow, so there's our difference. So my number 3 team.
Now these are the locks.
Yeah, these are the locks now. And my number 3 team, hate to say it, but are my LA Kings.
My number 3, they didn't really do much during the off season. They made one big signing, but I think what is really going to affect whether or not where they end up falling a lot, I think, is how healthy their goaltender is.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I have LA at number 3.
That's all I can put.
They're just getting old.
Yeah, they are getting old. So now my number 2, which I think you can guess who my number 2 will be. I think they have improved. Every year they improve. They seem to improve. They seem to be getting better and better, and they always seem to be on the king's tail all the time. But I think they're going to surpass them this year, and it'll be the Calgary Flames at my number 2.
My number 2, again, was last year's Cinderella story, but I think they still have a good squad and they're strong, but I've got Vegas at number 2.
Okay.
Which, that means we
We
both
have the same number 1. We both have San Jose.
I think with the addition with Carlson on there, a huge impact.
Yeah, San Jose is going to be the team to beat, I think. And maybe the team to beat in the West.
I don't know, because I think Winnipeg's going to be up there too.
Winnipeg will be too.
I could see that as your conference final right there.
Could be.
Winnipeg,
Yeah,
Jose.
could be. So now, Howie, wild cards for the West. So I have chosen as my first wild card coming out of the Central Division. Of course, we went through this whole scenario last week of all the.
Yeah.
It depends on what happens.
So this would be your 5th, your second wild card team.
Oh my. Okay.
The weaker of the 2.
Right. The weaker of the 2. So. And we went through all this before. It is going to come out of the Central. It could possibly come out of Pacific, but I think I'm just going to choose these guys. It's going to be Chicago.
Okay. My number 2 wild card. It could be Calgary. It depends really on how healthy they stay and what they do. I mean, they're like I said, Calgary's hard to even play. But my number 5, I think last year was just a fluke season for them. But I think they'll get back in the playoffs this year, and I put Chicago.
All right. So my other wild card comes out of the Pacific, and it's going to be Vegas.
My last wild card comes out of the Central again, and I think that it will be St. Louis.
Wow. All right. So we're pretty close. 3, 4, and 5 are a little different. Well, all of them from 2 to 5 is different. 2 to 4 is different. Yeah. Calgary. Okay, so just to recap where we are. For number 8 in the Pacific, I chose Vancouver. You also chose Vancouver. I chose for number 7 Arizona. You chose Arizona. Number 6 Edmonton. You chose Edmonton. Number 5 I chose Anaheim. You chose Anaheim. Number 4 I chose Vegas. You chose Calgary. Number 3 I chose LA and you chose LA. Number 2 I chose Calgary and you chose Vegas, and we both chose San Jose.
So it's just Vegas and Calgary that are flip-flopped then for us.
Yep. wild card, your weaker of the two is Chicago, along with mine. And then you chose St. Louis, and I chose Vegas. So that's it. That's the Pacific Division, Howie. And in 3 days, the season begins.
That it does.
Yeah. So next week, though, we go through our playoffs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go through our playoffs next week.
And we'll actually have some scores and some stats to talk about. That'll be good. Do you have anything else to add before we go?
Negative, no.
All right. So with that, thank you all for listening and watching the podcast. Go out to www.thepuckdropshere.com. Check out our past episodes along with this one. Give us a like on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Pinterest. We're on Patreon. Send us an email at jonandhowie@thepuckdropshere.com. And we will talk to you all next week with our playoff predictions. And until then, we bid you all adieu.
Okay.